Paul Twitchell presents The Wisdom Notes, Volume 1, Number 7, page 13, July 1st, 1968. Dear Blessed Ones, the initiates of Ek have an insight not possessed by others who are following various paths to God. Their knowledge now comes from the inner secret teaching given by the Egg Master to every individual initiate. Each is taught at his own personal level of spiritual unfoldment by the living Egg Master, who is capable of being in all places simultaneously. Thereby, he is with all his initiate at all time, pouring out the secret knowledge, but on various levels according to their spiritual understanding. Some receive it in dreams, others by feeling, and many by direct inner link up with Egg Master, conscious of what he is telling them. The Master work at different level with variation of consciousness of those initiates under his guidance, but one thing he has in common with all is the great love and compassion shown constantly. He is the bringer of spiritual gifts and the light of divine love to all, and therefore hardly does he ever receive, but is constantly pouring upon each initiate and Sheila and his care a tremendous love that is matchless. If he presents the Sheila with a gift, it should not be accepted with human understanding, but taken as a gift from God. Whether it be a cup of tea or a touch of his hand, the Master is bestowing upon the Sheila a love which is to open him for the descent of the grace of God. The Satguru, therefore, is the door of light for the Chiller. It is through him that we are able to enter into the spiritual kingdom. The human form of the Master is the manifestation of the Ek, the man God, which is the ladder that has one end on earth and the other in heaven. He is the uniting link between man and God. Although the Ek is the true essence of the Adept, it must be put on a human garment to come in contact with man and give him instruction. The human form is the external manifestation of the Ek on the physical plane. He is the Trinity, the Sadguru, Ek and Sugmad. They are not three separate entities, but one, the three forms of the same Supreme Being. This is the perfect Master able to serve us in the human form of God, and through dedication to God we are able to go through him as the door of light and come in contact with the inner Master, which is the Ek. Then by devotion to the Ek inwardly by soul, we shall ultimately reach the highest state where the Ek is one with the absolute deity. Next, we must examine the paradox of the perfect Master. By dwelling here in the human form among us, he is then a man. All that exists on this physical plane subsist in the illusion of Maya, where all is darkness and ignorance. Therefore, we know then that all we experience in this world, see with these eyes, hear with these ears, and perceive with the intellect is only delusion and darkness. Then the Egg Master and his outer form with his oral instructions and writings are also in darkness, because they too are within the sphere of the physical phenomena. So we find that the outer Master dwells in darkness and speaks and the utter delusion of physical phenomena, but the inner Master exists in the true light, awaiting all those who come to him. The difference between the darkness around the Master and other darkness is that the first leads to the light and sound, while all the other darkness keeps us in delusion and ignorance. The Satguru, as we see him in the physical form, is an illusion, for his true being is the transcendental Ek. But this is the illusion that takes us out of Maya. The Sadguru is the door in the darkness which opens out into the light. The religions and philosophies are known to be many doors in the dark world, but this is not true, for they lead only to the same darkness and never into the light. It is like walking down a deep tunnel into a room filled with darkness, for we are all prisoners of Kal, the negative power, except, of course, the Sadguru. Thus the Ek Masters descend into this material universe for the good of man. They leave their abode and the absolute reality, come down into the lowest plane and put on a gross material body, only to help us leave this world of darkness and illusion. It is for our sake that Sadguru places himself in the position of hardships of human life and subjects himself to the necessities of the physical flesh. In essence, he is one with God, but for the sake of man, he becomes human and moves into the physical plane. He works to give us the highest good, that is to take every soul out of the prison of Kal, an illusion of physical phenomena, and unite it with the supreme Sugmat. He reveals to all that the real self is, and then transports us into the absolute reality. This is only objective in being one with God. He knows all about us, and this knowledge is used for our good. Therefore, he is the ocean of love and mercy, and gives all his love and guides each on the spiritual path of Ek with kindness. His relationship with each Sheila is a relationship of great love, one of infinite love, which causes him to live for the sake of others. His divine influence transforms others into saints, just as the philosopher's stone was said to change iron into gold. God is love, and therefore it shines through the Sadguru to all the world. It is through love that man is closest to the absolute reality. Since he cannot love an abstract, then it must be the Ek Master that he can give his devotion and love. It is not the love if there is any ulterior end or motive in it. If we desire to gain something apart from the service and company of the Sadguru and eternal life, with the reality of all life, then our love is not pure. Therefore, love is inspired by love itself. So we find the Ek Masters are fountains of love, for they are the outer manifestation of the Word, the life current of existence that called the Ek power. When the love of the Master reaches us and is felt by us directly and pierces the heart, our love is inspired also. This is real love, independent of external qualities or attributes, transcending the experiences or attributes, transcending the experience of senses and the intellectual planes. The Sat Loka, or what we know as the true world of God, is a vast ocean of pure love. From out of it issues the great waves of love, the Ek that sustain the whole universes. Below the soul plane, the wave becomes mixed with the impurities of the universal mind power, which we know as Kal. As it comes down into and through the lower planes, it is thinned out, So by the time it enters into the physical world, this wave of love is mixed with the grossness and solid matter of the cow forces and lost in the sands of desires and human passions. The fundamental point in the teachings of Ek is that love is the transcendental Ek. It is that which lifts us into the inner world and gives us the true light and sound of God. In the end, it results in transcendental knowledge, calm, and happiness. The chela who possesses this quality ceases to be human, for he becomes transcendental and is possessed of supernatural powers. Every Ek master teaches that love is the first step and the essential factor in true realization. Give your devotion to the master, and in return he gives thricefold his love to you. My love always protects you. Affectionately, Paul. Thank you for listening.